Gemini, what a month ahead. Going to be amazing. March of 2025, because you're going to have some major shifts of a positive nature in your career space and the earnings and gains from that career. It could open up whole new vistas for that career and career gains part of your chart in a way that is exquisitely rare, that takes us back to 2017, 18, but even beyond that with eclipses, hundreds of years. So let's talk about why this is such an important month for you and what it might mean as we go into this detailed breakdown of week by week for the month of March. Welcome to my channel, Geminis. If you're new, you can definitely get down with my description box where I have how to cash your chart and whole sign houses. My name is Lori Lothian. This is literally Western tropical zodiac astrology, not a sidereal astrology. But I also want to share with you before we break down this incredible career gain shifting sands for you. I want to tell you about my Virgo class, not my Virgo class, my Venus class. Come jump in. It's going to be so much fun. March 1st to April 12th, 6 weeks with me, live calls, replays available, a Facebook group, every second week a Q&A, a fun collage party one weekend with us all together on Zoom for those who can make it. So we're going to do some fun things in this group as we navigate a very rare cycle of a Venus retrograde in the signs of Aries and in Pisces, last seen in 2017. So it's going to be a great class. Come join in. There is a 50% discount code off here, but you must get in there before March 1st. So you've got a little bit of time to slip in. I might extend the enrollment for a week. I'm not sure, but if you miss more than one class, then it's probably not worth joining in the group. All right, so let's get going and talk about this month for you. I'm going to show you the sky. We're going to break it down week by week. I do talk a little bit fast, okay? And I fidget and touch my hair. If you don't like that, you don't have to watch the video. Like, you can close your eyes. But if I'm talking a bit too fast, just slow down my playback speed. I'm trying to give you a lot of content in a very short 25 minutes together. And this is one busy month. All right. So this is the sky, and that's a Gemini ascendant on the left. I want you to listen for your ascendant. If you're thinking about the most circumstantial events of your life, it's the character you play in the simulation. I want you to think about sun, most focused on purpose, career, and deepest essential nature. The moon can often be connected to your home and your nest, but also connected to matters to do with how you feel about your life. Certainly try all three and then decide over time which one is resonating most for you. So, what we want to say here for you, Gemini people, is that you'll notice that there is a stellium collecting in your 10th house. And this is rare. We're going to see on the 27th of March a pile up there, a parade of planets with the moon included. And therefore, it is going to be a very career-centric, career-focused energy for you during the month of March, but also expanding in destined and fated ways. Let's talk about the month in a breakdown of the chronological order, but we will be highlighting the two eclipses this month, of course, the one in Virgo on the 14th of March and the one in Aries on the 29th. These are where destined changes are happening without your particular permission, because it is fated or destined, or, waves of karma that are playing through the sky in good ways in this case. So on the beginning of the month, March 1st to the 8th, Jupiter will square the sun, or vice versa. And this will be in play for the first 3 days of the month. Opportunity is knocking, connected to your career, but also you. You are particularly lucky with Jupiter here and will continue to be so. Lucky, magnanimous, generous, maybe a bit more wealthy, maybe a bit more chubby when Jupiter moving through Gemini all the way through until the 9th of June. But in direct motion between now and the 9th of June, your luck is on, high energy, and something about being graciously expansive and lucky around an opportunity emerging in the first 3 days of March, connected to career and reputation, even to the point it could be a chance to stand out in front of people, talk in front of people, boardroom meetings or something. We've got Mercury up there, or, maybe you're going to be highlighted on a podcast or something you put into the world that's Neptunian and Mercurial, like a podcast or a YouTube video or something like that could go really big for you, or, it's a really lovely exposure to the public. Now, it's also good for, of course, opportunities like getting a raise or a promotion or getting a job application accepted. Now, on around the same time frame, Mercury will be co-joining, as you see, Neptune. And so these two are that visionary, dreamy, lovely energy. And Mercury can be highly inspirational up here and also inspired. And there's some high high level inspiration of a dream, materializing information showing up that supports a longer range goal or dream in your career. And it just has a good feeling to it, because Jupiter, even in a square, brings blessings and opportunities, not hardship. And the sun is up there as well, squaring Jupiter. So overall, it is a beautiful feeling. Rainbows and unicorns in your career and reputation and social standing. Mercury on the 5th of March will sextile Pluto. And this is a really good insight, penetrating insight opportunity. Mercury is the information, the idea, the communication, and Pluto is often what is hidden or what is covered or buried or unseen. Now, Mercury could reveal to you, like an email, phone call, text coming through from an ally, friend, benefactor, colleague, coworker, some kind of insight into a ninth house matter, a book publishing deal, a foreign land, a visa, a court matter, a podcasting or publication story, and something is being revealed to you. But because of Pluto, it can bring riches, it can bring depth of understanding, but it may be at the Mercury's in the house of other people that can be like your social groups. It may be coming from like an invitation to do some kind of journey abroad from a social group or friend, somebody in your friendship networks or professional networks as well. On the 7th and 8th of March, a beautiful trine of energy flowing with good luck and opportunity between the sun in your career space and Mars in your earning space. There's no two ways about it. This is some kind of increase of success as you go forward with clarity, self-starter energy, directionality, strong decision-making power of Mars direct since February 23rd, but direct here in 7th, 8th of March in that money house, but in a beautiful flow to the sun, shining brightly like a sun will do at the high noon of the sky in the career space. So it does connect to career success. It does connect to financial gain from career success in a very flowing, easy, and wonderful way. Mars in Cancer can be a little bit, under the weather sometimes, but here, because of his flow to the sun, he's actually getting something to work in the place of water. Now, as we move forward into March the 8th to the 14th, the first thing that happens that's important is between the 11th and the 13th, the sun will bump into Saturn. Now, normally Saturn is hardship, right? Or difficulty or constraint, like hitting the wall, so to speak. And the sun is that big light up there that wants to shine ever so brightly. And the two of them are antithetical to each other. These planets do not necessarily like each other. However, Saturn just says, and it has been saying to you since 2023 March through to February of 2026, have you climbed a career mountain and have you reached a pinnacle? And now that you're masterful and authoritative here, what do you want to do next? So halfway through a 2.5 to 3 year cycle of everybody having Saturn through their 10th house, we have to pivot and go down the mountain to a new valley, to climb to a new mountain. People don't like to acknowledge that. People get angry when I mention that having Saturn in Kamala Harris's 10th house was not a positive thing, that it indicates, like for most people, reaching a new peak of authority and stature and mastery. But then the other half of that cycle is going down the mountain. So like retiring, changing your career. Now, this only happens every 30 years. So it is a major life cycle shift. So you'll find that maybe even on the heels of a lot of feeling really successful in your career, a lot of accolades and positive financial things that were occurring, then when suddenly we get to the 11th to the 13th or so, and we're noticing that we are maybe hitting a wall, or maybe coming to a realistic assessment of something in our career, because there's a big light on what is realistic, what is time sensitive, what is getting old and tired and wanting to try something new. Now, of course, maybe also you will get some great experience here with an authority figure in the office. We still have a trine from Mars. So the boss's boss or the corporate head honcho loves you up a bit. But still, we have destined change here. And we will see for you over the course of the next 18 months, massive changes in the career thanks to the North Node of Fate. up here with Neptune and Saturn for a dream career, a move or a pivot towards your dream career rather than just success for its own sake. Now, Mars is chasing the paper. He'll do what he needs to do to make money down there. He'll even grind, and we'll get to that. But you've got a deeper celestial story going on about what is going to bring your soulful satisfaction. Okay, so that's a vibe. And as Saturn and the Sun co-join together, they're also in a sextile to Uranus for a surprise on the 11th through the 13th. Now, 11th to the 15th, even the feeling of a surprise. And because it's a 12th house surprise, it's also maybe a breakthrough, like a breakthrough or a break free from deep within you, a dream at night, a celestial download, and a deep understanding of something deep and true for you. The 12th house pulls on Akashic records, past lives. Uranus is flowing to the south node of fate from the house of the ancestors and the family of origin. You've got some kind of big pivot of aha, some kind of big breakthrough going on. And, with the moon traveling through Virgo around the same time, there may be something about almost like the purity of your family of origin, maybe the communications. You have an ancestrally rich house for writers or medicine people or health people. Man, you're pulling something from underneath the surface of your family and your ancestors and your past lives so that you can make some changes in the 10th house of career that are going to be very important for you. Now, this energy does have always some unexpected developments, but because it's a sextile from Uranus and creating what you can see here is a wedge, you're going to welcome this change and this insight and this surprise. The only other thing I could say is that if you make digital income, foreign land revenue, there could be something happening that increases that money, but at the same time makes you realize what you really need and want, and maybe pivoting something in the career. The total lunar eclipse is happening on the 14th of the month. It is in Virgo at 23 degrees. It's the first full-on eclipse in the Virgo part of the sky for 18 years, since last 18 years ago. The eclipse cycle playing out really intensely over the next 18 months does compare to mid-2006 to mid-2008 energetically, if you need to make a note of that. And this full lunar eclipse, blood moon eclipse, total eclipse in your 4th house is going to bring a eerie red light to the house of your ancestors and your childhood and your family of origin and what you learned from your family growing up and what the ancestral paths and patterns have been, good and bad. And again, we see this Uranus in the 12th house. This is a real revelatory month as that eclipse comes into being and shines a sort of like luminol on the blood crime scene, so you can see the blood that's spilt in the family system. So it sounds daunting, but it's very revelatory, and it can make a change of home, because the south node here could say that in the 6 months that follows this eclipse, some of you will change your location of residence. All right, as well. Now, it happens to be an eclipse on the 14th. However, it can take up to 12 months for this to be fully realized. Well, 6 months most likely, because it's lunar. I have found lunar eclipses start to rattle into being about a month before, and that you'll see the lay of the land usually within 3 to 4 months at the maximum. I remember I had a lunar eclipse to my IC, and within 3 months I knew why I was moving, right? My IC is a root, just like the 4th house, but it'll show you why the move is happening. Not everybody will move, but you have more chances to do this, because through till mid 2000, even the fall of 2026, you keep seeing eclipses going through that 4th house. Now, let's talk about the next section of the sky. We're going to talk about Mercury and Venus, and then move into some more chronological events at the end of this month, including the Aries eclipse. So the reason I started this video with this celestial advancement of career and sort of gains in your career increasing is because we have both Mercury and we have Venus engineering change in houses 11 and 12 as they go into retrogradation. So let's talk about Mercury for a minute. On the 15th of the month, he heads retrograde in our heavens, and he will be retrograde to April 12th. Now, he started off in the sign of your career, which is Pisces, way back in February. And you might have been having new ideas, new communications around your career back in February. In fact, that would have been, February. I'm sorry, in March, on March the 3rd, new ideas, new concepts for your career, lots of communication for your career. So that was March 3rd, a lot of career stuff intensifying here. So you haven't gotten there yet if you watch this video before then. That's March the 3rd. But then on March the 15th, he will station retrograde. And he does this at 15 degrees of Aries, right? Because he has moved. OMG. Sorry, Geminis. Just don't shoot me, okay? Because I'll shoot myself. Sorry, let's clear this up. Sorry, on March the 3rd, Mercury is moving into your Aries sky. On March the 3rd, Mercury moves into your Aries sky. All right. Before that, 3 weeks before March the 3rd, okay, in February, he's giving this dreamy ideas and communications and in talking a lot and communicating and negotiating things about your career. So that's February. On March the 3rd, Mercury moves into your 11th house of good spirit. Now, these are the direct financial gains, reputation gains, and increases and perks of your career. And so in the perks of your career, in comes Mercury on March the 3rd. But by the 15th, he stops at 9 degrees of Aries to turn backwards. And by March the 30th, he's back into your 10th house. And then on April 7th, he goes direct in that 10th house of career. So what does it all mean? First of all, be careful here between roughly the 15th and the 30th, because any decisions you make that connect you to contracts or agreements connected to the gains or the money you get from the career, you might wait. You might not sign any dotted lines because the retrogradation will have to turn it around later on. Unless it's an old contract or offer, it's on the table and it's coming back from the past, don't do it. On April 7th, Mars will go direct in the career house, Mercury. So this is going to say, wait till April 7th in general before making any major career decisions or negotiations or contracts, including retirement, including moving to a new company, including, making big changes in the work you do in the world. Just wait. And after April 7th, you're good to go. The last thing about this is it's not just Mercury, it's also Venus. On February 4th, Venus entered into the part of the sky that is those career gains themselves and those allies and the celebrity and the social influence and the groups of belonging. And in February, on the 4th, as she moved into this part of your sky, she began to try to give you some success here, as Venus is prone to do. But then on March the 1st, at 10 degrees of Aries, she stops in the sky to go backwards. And by the time she gets to March 27th, she enters into the Pisces sky. That's your 10th house. But it really means that for about March the 1st to the 27th, a Venus retrograde can bring colleagues, co-workers, friends, allies, and benefactors from your past into your life. And as she continues forward, March 27th to April 12th, the retrograde brings even more people back from your past when it comes to the work and career space. And so there's kind of a swath of, allies, benefactors, friends, colleagues, co-workers, bosses, people from the past connected to professional matters between March the 1st and April 12th showing up for the Geminis. And after the 12th of April, when she goes forward in your career path, then some of these people who show up and the suggestions they give you and the offers they give to you can be considered seriously. So Venus says wait until April the 12th before decisions are made, and Mercury says April 7th. So you get the vibe of mid-April is where you make those choices. All right, so let's talk about the second half of the month in chronological order because we just had to talk about those two planets. Next, all right, so Sun will co-join Neptune like a big flashlight around the 19th to the 21st of the month. And this is a beautiful energy because the Sun can bring a big flashlight or torchlight to things that have been confusing you. So starting around the 17th, happy St. Patrick's Day, the Sun will be connected to the node of fate in your 10th house, while still in a general vibe flow to Mars and Uranus. So some positive, exciting, maybe surprising destined shifts around money and career are playing out around St. Patrick's Day, a day or two before and after. And then after that sort of yummy glow up, then we see the Sun on Neptune clearing and dispelling any confusion you might have about some of the destined change that wants to show up financially in your career and work matters. And you'll notice that on March 18th, even we have a water trine with this work house, this earnings house, and this career space. Now, another way that could work out is some of you make some dietary changes to improve your health, and it escalates your career success as well around the 17th to the 18th of the month. As this is occurring, We also notice that we have a Pluto story in the sky with Venus. Venus, the goddess of good things, including love, money, but in this case, in the house of friends and earnings from your career, talks to Pluto. And the two of them are making a deal that's going to benefit you because it's a sextile, it's the nature of Venus. What kind of things could be out of your viewfinder or hidden from view? And Venus is suggesting that you could actually, I just had the skylight blow, and that means my lighting is terrible now. What could you do here to do with opportunity for riches connected to career in foreign lands, or opportunities for riches connected to career in book publishing, or opportunity for riches connected to higher educational opportunities? Those stories are playing out for you. And yes, it feels good to me. Again, that's nicely set up for you on the 21st and 22nd of March. And with Venus and Mercury being so close to each other, emails, phone calls, text messages coming from an elder sibling, friend, ally, benefactor, former colleague, with opportunity. But again, we're seeing Pluto in the house of far off distant shores, book publishing, podcast publishing, maybe things to do with learning and higher education, visas, passports, and travel. South Node in Virgo, some of you may be considering a relocation to another country. Now, what about the 24th to the 31st? There's a lot going on, and some of it's very cool. Saturn is sextiling Uranus for much of that time. And so for the last, 7 days of the month, we have this gorgeous energy of cooperation between Saturn, stability, perseverance, and discipline, mastery, and authority in your career in a destined way that allows for an unexpected development that's beneficial. And Uranus is on a wealth star as well, Algol, and it connects to foreign distant lands and shores, or revenue made from digital income, borderless revenue, or maybe employment with a foreign company. But whatever it is, it feels good, it feels destined, it feels beautiful. Downtime, alone time, like the 12th house, like the 8th, can involve retirement, unexpected opportunity from your employer to buy you out so you can retire and just chill and do your own thing all the time. Who knows? But it feels like a positive surprise, and you're welcoming of it. And Jupiter is protecting you. So everything about this should be okay. March the 24th, also to about the 7th of April, Mars gets it all beautified up here with a cooperation with Saturn. You can see it building here already on the 21st of March, and it becomes more closely exact as we move to about April 2nd. And what we like about this energy is it allows for perseverance, focused discipline, unyielding, unstoppable momentum in something that you're doing professionally that also connects to your money and your earnings and your resources. And so, Mars sometimes when he goes through the second house has a motto: do the one thing. And because he cuts away all that is not what you need to earn money. So there's maybe a refinement and assured realism about the one thing that you might want to or need to do regarding money. Now, Mars cuts, ends, and severs, and some of you might quit your job, retire your job, but because it's blessed by Jupiter's protection as well, this is also going to benefit you on the financial front. And if you're working on some kind of project or some kind of endeavor in your business, whether you're alone, like you're a self-starter, or you work for a company, it doesn't matter. The amount of success and achievement that's available to you because of the discipline and the active forbearance that you are having with this energy is immense. It is a beautiful alignment between these two planets. And because Mars is in direct motion, it's even better. So looking at like the 21st of March through to about the 7th of April, all systems go for a project, for working on something, for doing the one thing, for lining up your realistic dreams and goals with financial success. All of that is in the sky for you. On March the 29th, the last eclipse in Aries for another 18 years as a North Node eclipse is occurring in the house of your great gains of career and your reputation, or like if you have group influence or celebrity, and it is a solar eclipse. Now, It's also the house of a sibling, one older than you. It's also the house of friends and social groups and networking. So there could be a massive change, also long range goals and dreams. There might be a massive change here, a new button, a reset button. And because the North Node in this eclipse is in the 10th house, it's a reset button on gains and goals and dreams and friendships and colleagues and coworkers connected to your career path. And so there is a kind of a reset button. You've had eclipses here in April of 23 and 24, but this one has the node in the 10th house and specifically says it's all about the 10th house. Before that, like the eclipse of April of 2023 could have been an eclipsing of an elder sibling relationship or a friend in your group friendship circles, kind of like an end of that relationship or near death of that relationship. So I have a progressed Gemini sun, and I had a massive falling out with a girlfriend that we recovered from it during that cycle. So there's things like this that are happening, but now with the North Node in your career and reputation and social standing and achievements house, whatever this changes in the 11th house, it's going to impact your career in a positive way. So you might let go of a long range goal or ambition. You might have some destined change coming from a friend, ally, or benefactor that supports greater career growth and advancement in the year that follows the eclipse, up to 6 weeks before the eclipse of March the 29th and up to a year later. Thank you for listening, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. I'm going to go see if I can fix the skylight, because when the skylight isn't covered up, I get all these shadows on my face, and I'm under a living room skylight. Don't forget to check out the Venus course. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it might be a great class for all of us to do together, and I'm so excited for my own journey through this Venus retrograde. And when I'm doing something that's fun for me, I like to bring others along to play. I'm a bit of an Aries ringleader. All right, I'll see you guys on my channel, and hopefully you like this kind of all signs content. And if you do and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Thank you so very much.